I just lost about a minute and a half of an animated video I was working on in Storyboard Pro. Let me walk you through. You work on something on Storyboard Pro, everything's fine, you save. The next day you open the project again and all the drawings are missing, but they're right there. As I kept seeing the error message, dread was setting in because I knew what it meant. I've seen it before. The difference was I only thought it could happen to old files or maybe corrupted files, not to something I created less than 2 months ago and was working on just fine before it decided to off itself. So as I kept seeing the error message no matter what I did, I refused to simply accept that I just lost all my work. I went to the internet to look for answers and found nothing, except for a video of a guy having the exact same problem as I. He fixed it, so there's hope. I don't have to redraw everything. No, but it's better than nothing. I did manage to get back some drawings. You see, the method is the following. Open the Elements folder in Harmony, another program, as a library. Open both Storyboard Pro and Harmony side by side. Create a folder in Harmony while you recover the drawings that is accessible to open in Storyboard Pro as a library. Are you keeping up? Drag the drawing element into the library and a new type of file will be created. Open the new folder in Storyboard Pro and drag the drawing element onto the canvas. The drawing shows up as a layer as if nothing happened and everything was just fine. Problem solved? But
Then I thought, does this mean that I have to do this for all the missing drawings? Yep, that's what I had to do.
So I did that. I recovered most of the drawings, paying close attention to the ones that were frame by frame animations. It took forever, and the program crashed while I was in the middle of it. But I did it. But that's just the beginning of the recovery process, because you must also keep in mind that since the entire project was corrupted, I also lost all the editing work and the timing and keyframing and so on. No way of recovering that. I saved what I could and left it there. I haven't touched it since. The feeling of working on something and being at risk of losing it all simply because of a patched program's whim is a bit unnerving. Reading some more, I found out that some people can solve this problem without going through that Herculean task. What they do is they simply update the program, and apparently it recovers just fine. I can't do that. Have access to the latest version, I mean. Simply out of personal choice, you know, but I also think that's bullshit. Not only because forcing an update onto users is annoying and shouldn't be done, but because this also happened to me while working with a studio that provided us with the latest, most legal version of Storyboard Pro. I was supposed to work on someone else's file, but when I opened it, it greeted me with that error. And apparently it happens to Toon Boom Harmony as well. Not quite the same missing file scenario, but a whole missing project because it corrupts itself when it closes. So I'm probably switching to OpenToons for animating. At least they warn from the beginning that the program's unstable and you should enable autosave. And I can deal with a crashing program far better than one that suddenly can't read any of the drawing elements that are right there. I can see them. Why can't you read them? Why did you do that? But for storyboarding, unfortunately this is the industry standard, so I can't just as easily drop it. I guess I'll start saving my files as packed projects or whatever, since apparently that may avoid this issue. Still angry about it. You know, as an artist, I believe we already have it hard enough. This software is supposed to be our ally, our trusty tools on which we get on by. If it's the case that they are truly forcing an update onto users and they become just like fucking Adobe, then I'm going back to paper. Anyways, I promise I'm good at my work despite these hurdles, so please feel free to check the description if you're interested in hiring me for any freelance artist work, be it storyboarding, animation or illustration. Thank you for listening to my complaints and check out my demonic possession on Webtoon.